So you graduated from college, you met your husband and married him, and had your first child. How did that change things?
I think, well, taking it back a little bit, when I graduated from college, I went to work for the first time and didn't have the level of activity that I had had when I was in college or in high school. I didn't have time to work out. I was working 10, 12-hour days in public accounting, so my ability to get exercise dwindled significantly, and I gained again. After I got down to that 102, I proceeded to get the heaviest I've ever been, which was 126, and just was very unhappy. I was living with a roommate who was also overweight, and we both decided that we needed to lose weight, and we'd been studying for the CPA exam, and that didn't leave a lot of free time. So at that point, we both decided our answer was Nutrisystem, and we went to Nutrisystem and lost weight, and I got down to probably like 105, 108, and kept that weight off for a while. And then just, by then I was starting to realize weight was an emotional, or a roller coaster for me, basically, that, I'd lose, then gain, lose, then gain. And I was really tired of it. And of course, Nutrisystem, once I stopped eating their food and their little plans, the same thing happened again. I gained the weight. So subsequent to that, my roommate got married. I moved in with a new roommate, and I met my husband. And actually, I was at my heaviest point ever when I met my husband and when we were dating. And of course, eventually we got engaged, and I wanted to be thin again. And for whatever reason, Weight Watchers was appealing. So now, I proceeded from diet pills to Diet Center to Nutrisystem to Weight Watchers. So I guess the only thing left was Jenny Craig. Actually, hindsight looking back, that was the best diet I had done thus far, and just simply because Weight Watchers trained me more to eat better portions and not to give up all the sweets, which always has been my drawback. Anytime I deprive myself of sweets, I am doomed for failure because I just can't live without them. So Weight Watchers, I was probably the most successful long term, and again, I had met Eddie and was dating him, and we eventually got engaged, and I wanted to be thin, so lost the weight and stayed thin essentially until I got pregnant with our son and had my first baby, and then, of course, got to the point where I'd had the baby and just was very discouraged after having the child. Just, I think the balance of being a new mother and working and trying to balance the demands of motherhood and work at the same time just put an extra toll on me, and I didn't make exercise a priority, and it had always been something I enjoyed and liked, and I lost the weight. I just didn't lose as much as I would have liked to, and I was never quite satisfied. I was small again, but not small enough. So, I think by that point in my life, I had realized that Weight Watchers, Diet Center, or whatever, wasn't the answer for me, and that, I'd read enough on, okay, I needed to get more exercise, I needed to eat better foods, cut out the sweets, limit them at least. And so I felt like I was doing all those things and just still not getting it. And so I guess that's where I had been up until I was introduced to Thin Within last year. And
How has being familiar with the Thin Within message changed the way you think about food and weight-related issues?
I think I realized that my biggest issue was I tried, being the perfectionist that I am, I tried to do everything on my own, and that I thought the weight would come off just if I followed this nice little set of criteria and followed the rules and regulations of how to eat better. And I think I was very discouraged when that didn't happen for me, and I started to realize that really I was powerless, and that seeing the Thin Within concepts introduced to me, and the two big things from Thin Within for me that worked for me or that hit home for me is, number one, I had no control. I needed help, and I needed God to lead and guide and direct me, and I needed to rely on Him, and I couldn't do it all on my own. I needed that to lose weight as opposed to trying to be the perfect weight on my own. And then just the whole concept of your body being a temple, that being reintroduced to me, it became, although I, subsequently am now expecting my second child, it became more of a, okay, I don't do this I can't do this on my own, and I know I need him to get me through this. And so that concept has really helped. And especially while I've been pregnant, it's the whole concept of getting to zero has been a revelation. I mean, obviously I could feel that some before I was pregnant, but you feel it much more frequently and much more strongly when you are pregnant. And it's nice to think, okay, now I know I need to eat, and I want to be smart about it, and I want to take care of the life that I have inside of me. And so I think that knowing when I'm at zero and when it's better to eat will be really helpful to me in the recovery process, as I'll call it, after I've had the child. I think that, and the experience of the first pregnancy and knowing how long it did take me to lose weight because I wasn't as conscious about my eating. I think those two things alone will help me improve the second time around because, first of all, I'm older. Second of all, I'll have 2 children. I'll have a lot less time for exercise. And just knowing that there's a smart way to eat and that I want to take care of myself and be the best I can be. And just the benefits of that from a health standpoint and my exercise, my activity level, my energy level. I think that'll really be beneficial to me after the baby comes. So I look forward to recovering from all of this and getting back to a healthy, fit size, being thin within.